This video is going to be on cold calling, so you want to learn everything about cold calling. Stick along for the ride. When I say cold calling, we are going to go over all outbound, and let's just get right into it with how you should be on a call. You can take this for your call, but you can also take this if you're messaging a warm lead or emailing a warm lead, whatever. When you're interacting with them, you should be asking questions like, how long have you been running? What does your ideal client look like? You need to learn, you need to study about them. How many leads, sales they want a week, a month, a year. You need to know these type of things. You need to have a notepad to write them down, not just so you know this potential warm lead, but also to just generally figure stuff out about your industry, and that might help you with further clients. Now, you may do this physically on paper, or you can have an Excel sheet, whatever floats your boat. What's your biggest struggle getting clients right now? Figure out their pain points, what they want to do less of, and what they want to do more of, so you can also figure out the most optimal responses you can give them and or future clients. Then you really want to get into something which I call the yapping flow stage, I guess. You really want to have a good conversation with this is something you'll always want. You want good conversation with them. You're on a client provider basis, but you still want to have this closer still business but more friendly connection with them. So it's almost therapy, talking to them. You can go over problems, maybe that don't even have to do that much over with marketing. You really want to build this relation early on and have that lasting, so they know that you are a trustworthy person, and that will also build more longevity, because then it's a more personal relationship and not just strict business, which is very important if you work in this field. And keep in mind, all of this you could also apply as someone who also just generally works B2B, not just for marketing agencies. Now, when you figure out their biggest problem, let them know that you are the solution. Say something like, it's funny that you say that, because that's actually what we do for our clients. And so you want to upsell the miracle points and profit off of their miseries. And this is a general strategy that you should know in marketing in general, the misery and miracle selling. Now let's go over some places where you can find your clients. Here it could be Yelp, then it could be local.ch if you are Swiss. Google Maps is a very common one. Trustpilot. Also with Google Maps you can see if they're sponsored, which generally means they already have an agency doing work for them, so it's not even worth giving them a call, except if you're desperate enough, of course. Trustpilot. Foodies.ch if you are in that industry, pagesdoor.ch, Quandu, and LinkedIn. Now with LinkedIn, it's very nice. You can also just filter through very specific niches that you might be focused on and that you might be looking for, and this works generally if you work for B2B, but it's also very nice for agencies. And you can even set up chat bots. You can just do direct messages. LinkedIn is for B2B just great. I just wouldn't recommend running ads on there because it's currently not developed enough, and it's also too expensive. And also you could consider Instagram and other social media platforms, but from there I would rather go see if you can find an email or another contact form on those social medias than contacting them over social media, even though that is also a possibility, and you should definitely also consider that, and everything is worth trying. Now, just know you should do a lot of A/B testing with the lines you actually say. So you should constantly be trying to get feedbacks of, even if you fail with the cold call, and you should constantly try to get notes and improve, try to do new things and figure out and really try to learn, and not just constantly do the same thing, get rejected, go to the next one, do the same thing. You should do a lot of testing and figuring stuff out. But an opener that I can give, and you could also go and use chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., to get more opener lines, closing lines, etc., just lines. But one I like is, hello, can I have 20 seconds of your time? Let me tell you about our company. Now, as a closer for this video, let's go over some quick closing tips. Show them, if they hire you, you'll get them more clients and more money. You should really make it clear that if they hire you, the money they spend on you, they'll get back with a big return on investment. The ROI on that is massive, and you should explain that to them. Show them a pitch deck like Google Slides. I've made a video. It's not that, you can go check it out. I made a video on how to show a Google pitch deck to a client and pitch them. Yeah, you should consider having a Google Slides, but that is maybe something more for the second call, but that is also where you will be doing the closing. Yeah, it's just, you should know this. There's two calls mostly. A first call where you introduce yourself and get a second meet with them, and that's where you should consider bringing a pitch deck to them. This Google Slides presentation should have around 6 to 8 slides max. Show them what ads you're gonna run for them, what you're gonna do for them, etc. Show them results of past clients potentially. You could consider giving them a guarantee, like, we promise at least 30 clients over the next 90 days, or will work for free. Something that is very realistic and that you have seen in past experience that you can easily do, and it's still being like a desirable offer for them to want to do, and that it will still make them enough money to where they are willing to pay whatever prices that you have. We will go over prices soon. Example, you can say something like, what's a client worth to you? I don't know, $1,000, 1,000 Swiss francs. Well, we guarantee you 30 new clients, which means $30,000 is guaranteed to you. So it should be a no-brainer for you to do this 90-day bundle for $5,000 or something like that, you know. Like I said, for every objection, write it down in the conversation. Every objection, write it down. You should take notes which you can learn off, and you should not be scared to ask for some feedback after the call. And you shouldn't have a fixed price. If you look at most agencies' websites, they don't list a price, because you should charge lower ticket businesses less than higher ticket businesses. And you should always be able to negotiate different things with different clients. Maybe this client doesn't need geo, maybe this client wants SEO. Whatever, you should always negotiate this with your client and charge lower ticket businesses less than higher ticket businesses. Like I mentioned earlier, you could optionally offer a $5,000 upfront fee for 3 months, and after that do $1,500. That's something that is a little newer and that I've seen with other agencies to be profitable. Before you call them, and if you schedule a second call, if you get that warm lead to schedule another call with you, please study a lot on their business, so you just know a lot in their specific industry. Obviously, you're probably already picked out a niche, but you should also just study about their business, and you should ask, what's the average cost for X business? You can just Google what the average cost is for X business, ask ChatGPT or something. That includes this short video about cold calling. if you like that, like, comment, and sub, and see what the next video is going to be. It's going to be SEO. I already made it. I hope you get your first client. If you want more help, comment that down below and I will reply with my email and we can figure something out. If you want another video on this and this was too short for you, let me know and we can go more in depth on certain topics you like about cold calling and outbound approach of new clients. We can go over that. We can also go over different strategies to just get clients, not just cold calling and messaging. Whatever you'd like, comment that down below. This is where I work in, and I can for sure provide some more videos on that. Next video, SEO.